Writing and Princess Diaries, two of my favorite things. Anyone who knows me in real life or has been following along online knows what a massive fairy tale fan I am. So what can we as writers learn from examining these famous Disney tales? Well, I'm glad you asked because that's what today's video is all about. So sharpen your sparkly pencils and hold on to your tiaras because today we're going to be exploring 7 royal writing tips, inspired by Disney's Princess Diaries. I must preface this video by saying if you've never seen Princess Diaries, what are you doing with your life? You guys, I can't tell you how many people I've run into over the years who have never seen Princess Diaries. I get that it was made way back in the early 2000s, and for some of you that's like dinosaur years, but seriously, you need to watch this movie. The first royal writing tip we can extract from this gem of a story is the question, what lie does your character believe about herself? Or himself in the case that you're writing about a male. In Princess Diaries, Mia believed that she wasn't beautiful. She wasn't special, she wasn't brave, she wasn't lovely, she didn't feel like she was much of anything. Her physical appearances, such as big frizzy hair and bushy eyebrows, had her really down on herself and just burrowed in this trench of insecurity. Feeling like she was invisible and that nobody liked her are totally raw and real, relatable emotions for any 15-year-old girl. The specific lies that she battled with in her mind are relatable to all of us, and I think that's what makes her story so special. So what lie does your character believe about herself? Plaguing your protagonist with a completely believable lie about themselves, their world, and the situation that they're in is going to add so much depth to your story. I'm currently reading a book called The Moral Premise, and it's all about taking a specific lie and a specific truth and holding those two in tension in this big battle against one another. In life, we all have two choices. We can either believe the truth and overcome and be successful, or we can believe the lie and be stuck in a trap. Lies imprison us while the truth sets us free. And the cool thing about storytelling is that you can take these big concepts, such as light versus darkness, selfishness versus selflessness, insecurity versus confidence, fear versus love, and all these beautiful things. You can take these two opposites and create a parable. Storytelling that truly resonates with your readers is about something. It's more than just the fluff and the tiaras and the glitter and the castle, and even though all those things are great and lovely, what is your story truly about? Everything that you write within your story should all point back to your moral premise or the why or the true reason that you're writing. If you examine almost any of your favorite Disney stories, you're going to find a moral premise. One of the things that makes Mia's character so admirable is the way that she overcomes her shortcomings and her insecurities. In the beginning of the movie, we see her utterly terrified to talk in front of people. So much so that someone thought she was going to throw up in the tuba. But by the end of the story, when she realizes who she was truly called and created to be, she stands up and gives a speech practically in front of the entire world. And even though she's still stuttering a little bit and she hasn't gotten over all of her fears and insecurities, we can see major progress. So by the time Mia gives this beautiful speech, we're literally crying and cheering, and we're so excited for her because she has chosen life instead of death. She chose the truth over the lie. Tip number 2, to make your story just pop and bring it to the next level, is to create conflict between two seemingly allies. Mia and her mom experienced some major conflict. You know, the kind of conflict that comes up after you realize that your mother lied to you for 15 years of your life and never told you who you truly were. Mia and Lily, my personal favorite character, also struggled with some major conflict in this story. The emotional terrain that they had to trek through was far more intense than any of those hills that their scooters had to run up in San Francisco. Creating conflict between close-knit characters is a great way to bring your readers to the edge of their seats, to cause them to start gnawing on their fingernails because they want these relationships that are struggling and being strained and pulled in opposite directions, they want them to come back together. Creating conflict between allies is a fantastic way to add tension and interest to your story. Tip number 3 that we can learn from Princess Diaries is that people still love fish out of water stories. Now you might be sitting here watching this, rolling your eyes or banging your head against your computer desk saying, no, we have seen so many fish out of water stories. If I see another cliche story like this, I'm going to go crazy. And it's true, fish out of water is a cliche that has been done many, like millions of times. It's something Disney specializes in. Characters who are ripped out of their comfortable element and thrown into this unknown world where they have to figure out how to survive. Will they fail or will they fly? Will they overcome all of the struggles that are pounding them into the ground over and over and over again? I have to say, for as many times as I've watched a good fish out of water story, I still haven't gotten tired of it. For some reason, every time I always come back to the raw emotion of what this character is going through, and guess what? I still care. And that's the most important thing. At the end of the day, you want your readers to care about the characters. If they don't care about the characters and what they're going through, your book is probably going to get DNF'd. For you non-Goodreads people, DNF means did not finish, something you don't want to happen to your story. You want your readers to be rooting for and cheering for your main character, to just be hoping and praying that the protagonist is going to overcome everything that comes their way. So even though fish out of water stories can be labeled as cliche, you can still do them and do them tastefully and do them well if you sneak around them a little bit. You can send your main character on a similar journey without feeling like it's straight out of the pages of a Disney textbook. It's always a challenge to find the balance here because you don't want your readers to feel like they've read this story before, even though they kind of have. Star Wars, The Hobbit, The Avengers, Mulan, all of these stories have a similar element to them, whereas this character, your protagonist, has to go out of what's been comfortable and go into a new world. But isn't that what makes stories interesting? If your main character just dwelled in their element where they feel so comfortable and confident all the time, they would never grow, and we want your character to grow. Doing a fish out of water story the right way resonates so powerfully with your readers and viewers. We all want to cheer for the protagonist to overcome because at the end of the day, their story is our story. We all want to defy the odds, slay the giant, and come out victorious. So when we get to experience this through other stories and movies and we see characters who actually are successful, it encourages us and gives us that little twinkle of hope that our dreams can actually come true. And that, my friends, is the power of fiction. You can encourage and inspire your readers if you take your main character through a journey where they grow and change and overcome the enemy. Lesson number 4, the underrated hero. Okay, friends, this is where I'm going to have to swoon for a moment because we are about to talk about Michael Muscovus. There's nothing quite like an underrated, overlooked, thrown to the trash can, totally abandoned and forgotten about hero. Especially if he's a handsome, thoughtful gentleman, heartbreakingly dismissed like Michael Muscovus. Seeing Mia brush Michael away like an annoying fly evokes so many emotions as you want to grab the television screen and shake it and shout at Mia to pay attention. We all have a lot of empathy for Michael because I think everyone's been in Michael's shoes. Everyone can relate to the feeling of nobody cares. So how can you create an amazing, underrated hero like Michael for your story? It's important to give this side character some very admirable traits and qualities. Having these strong character traits just kind of shine through every once in a while, like cracks of light beaming through his broken, shining armor on the wonderful knight, can be really fun and encouraging to play around with. When we see potential in this side character, it starts to evoke excitement and cause you to ask the question, okay, what would happen if she actually turned her head and paid attention? When you start peeling back layers of this kind of mysterious side character, it's so much fun to play around with, and it really causes, once you hit that climatic moment where the character is fully revealed and Mia finally wakes up and she realizes that Michael actually truly is her knight in shining armor, it causes us to squeal and get so excited because we've been secretly rooting for it throughout the entire movie. Spoiler alert for the coronation. I had fun creating a character kind of similar to this in the coronation. If you can master a character like this, it's so much fun because the fangirls will literally be tripping over themselves as they scream frantically, so excited over the fact that this side character has rode in and finally saved the day. Basically, all of this to say, underrated heroes are always a win. Number 5, multi-generational relationships. I feel like multi-generational relationships is something that's really lacking in media today, and I love that Princess Diaries does so well with it. They have grandma, mom, and daughter, and even though they're all completely different people, they tie their stories together so well and show us that relationships with people older than us and younger than us really truly matter. This is something that I tried very strongly. I was passionate about implementing this into the coronation. A lot of people gave me feedback and said that they thought I should edit little Millie out because she's just a little sister and that's not a big deal and she's not a main part of the story. But for me, it's important to show that everyone matters. And even though you're writing for the teen demographic, teenagers should pay attention to their baby sisters, they should pay attention to their grandmas, and to cut them all out, to cut out all these characters and say the only thing that matters are teen girls and teen boys is pretty lame. Mia and Queen Clarissa's relationship was so special. You could see it start to grow and blossom throughout the movie, and by the time Princess Diaries 2 came out, they were truly bonded and you were so excited to see what was going to happen next. While it might be challenging to create a character as epic as Queen Clarisse, actually that's probably impossible, there is something you can do. Any kind of multi-dimensional and multi-generation relationships add so much dynamic to your story. Number 6, shattered hopes and dreams. Wow. Nothing like some good old heartbreak to make your story really hit home. Giving your character a highly anticipated hope or dream that they want more than anything. They want more than the moon and the stars and the sun itself, and they live and breathe and hope and cry out for this thing, and then you don't give it to them can be a little bit cruel. But guess what? It works. You know why? Because that's real life. Every reader and viewer can relate with that feeling of wanting something more than anything and then not getting it. A prime example of this, done sort of in like a goofy, fun-loving sort of way, would be Princess Mia's first kiss. As you guys remember, she was obsessed with the idea of having her foot pop. Totally random, cute character quirk, really weird, but it worked for the movie. So just when she was about to kiss her dream Backstreet Boy clone, her foot got caught in the net. And I love that because it was so symbolic of the fact that everything that Mia thought that she wanted, she still didn't want it. It still wasn't right, even though the situation was supposedly right and romantic and this was the boy of her dreams. When it came right down to it, it just wasn't the right situation. And you could say that the universe stepped in and made sure that that didn't happen. So then bad goes to worse and the paparazzi shows up and Lana, Banana, Fadana, and Madonna play that terrible trick on her and her face ends up in the paper and everything goes downhill. So yeah, shattered hopes and dreams to the max. Mia had something that she thought that she wanted, and that was so closely connected to the lie that she was believing. She didn't think that she was good enough. She thought she was invisible, when really the supply, the answer for all of her struggles that she was going through was really with her the whole time. But she had to go through this journey to discover who she truly was. She had to go through this whole story to realize that her worth didn't lie in a boyfriend. Her worth didn't lie in having pretty hair or being popular or anything like that, because once she got all of those things, she realized they were totally pointless. And I love what the writers did with Michael's character, because the line that they told, okay, major spoiler if you've never seen Princess Diaries, you might want to stop listening, but the beautiful line at the end of the movie where she says, "You saw me when I was invisible," it just is perfect. It totally summed up everything that this story was about, all of the trials and things that she had gone through, the lies that she was believing about herself, and it covered everything and just tied it together in one beautiful, wonderful, happily ever after sort of line. So giving your protagonist a false idea of what their dream life is, and then ripping it away from them, taking them through a journey, and giving them something even better is so fun and powerful. It's a great way to add emotion and intrigue to your tale. It will bring your readers on an emotional ride that they will not want to put your book down. Just remember that if you are going to utterly destroy their hopes and dreams, that whatever it is that you're creating as the payoff needs to be way, way, way better and totally satisfying, because you don't want to leave your readers totally depressed at the end of the story, because that's just mean. And number 7 is what I like to call the proud mama bear moment. It's the moment that your readers have been dying for. It's what they've been waiting for, cheering for this character to come into their own, to truly blossom and become everything they were meant to be. It's when they save the day, reach their prize, get the payoff, everything's wonderful, and you are just so satisfied as a reader because you watched this caterpillar turn into a butterfly. We all want a protagonist that we can cheer for, a hero that we can believe in. And at the end of the movie, Mia truly became that hero. Lily clapped, Michael clapped, Mom clapped, Grandma clapped, We clapped, everybody cried, everybody was happy, and then everybody danced because it's a Disney movie. If you end your epic story with a touching moment of victory, your readers are sure to love it. And the best part is it's going to inspire and encourage them to follow their dreams as well and remind them that if life doesn't work out the way that they are hoping, that God has something even better in store. There you have it, my friends, 7 royal writing tips from Princess Diaries. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and let me know what you thought. I would love to create more writing related videos in the future, so if you have any writing questions or things that you would love to hear me ramble on and on about, please feel free to let me know. Until next time, stay sparkly and have fun writing.